Three, two, one.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rahma from class 2E. Now I'm going to do a storytelling and the title is Imitate Something Blindly. Check it out. Once upon a time, there's a tradesman who lives in the village, and he has two donkeys. The first donkey is carry the salt, and the second donkey is carry the reef. When he walking with the two donkeys, suddenly they pass a small river. And then the first donkey is came down to the river to relieve the heat of thirst that overcame him, caused by the heavy burden on his back. After the first donkey is feel better and drink the water, he came out from the river. And after he came out from the river, he felt his load is lighter than before, because the salt was melted in the water. And then after he felt lighter than before, he felt so happy and he felt so joy. And then the second donkey was carry the reef as to the first donkey who carry the salt. Hey, what happened? What makes you happy, friends? And then the first donkey said, I'm so happy because when I went down to the river to drink the water, I didn't feel anything except the salt fell on my back. And I flow from everything. Then I came out. Ha 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 ha. So the second donkey was surprised because his friend who carrying the salt have a good fortune. And then the second donkey who carried the reef, he feel he had ambition and he had plan. He won't imitate what the first donkey had done before in the river. After a while, they arrived the great river. And then the second donkey is came down to that river. When he came down to the river, he drank too much water, and he felt he can like his friend. But the reef is filled with the water. And then the burden on his back became very heavier than before. Then the second donkey is came up from the river, groaning and groaning because of this calamity. And then he said, "Oh, my burden became heavier than before." And then the tradesman know what happened between the two donkey, and he said to the second donkey, "Hey, second donkey, do you know what the good for one person is not good for another, and imitating something without the guidance is misfortune. And how many people like you imitating something and then harm themselves, and then they don't know about it." And the wisdom from this story is, do not imitate something blindly, or do not imitate something without we know more about it. Because sometimes a good choice in one person is not a good choice from us. I think that's the storytelling from me. Thank you for your attention. I say you. Wassalamualaikum